Jody McCaffrey from North Bend. I have 2 points to make. On the first one, I would like to be very clear because some people seem determined to misrepresent what I say. So I will read what I have to say on the first point and provide the Commission a copy of my statement and the second point. At the last Port meeting held on September 18, 2008, I spoke in opposition to the Port's apparent intention to sign a new contract with the Jordan Cove Energy Project and Weyerhaeuser for an option on Weyerhaeuser's property on the North Spit. A few days later, a flyer distributed by advocates for the Jordan Cove Project and the new website they set up said my comments could be perceived as a threat against other marine and industrial projects. The characterization in the Jordan Cove Advocates flyer was blatantly misleading and falsehood. Anyone who knows me in the least knows it is laughable. It's ludicrous to suggest that it's in my character or capability to carry out a threat against marine or industrial projects on the North Spit or anywhere else. What I actually said in brief was that the Jordan Cove Energy LNG terminal itself puts in jeopardy other, more potential beneficial port and industrial projects on the North Spit because of the security zones that the LNG terminal ultimately will be required to have. The Port's planned general cargo terminal on the west side of the proposed new slip has already had to abandon or be abandoned for this reason. It would be surprising if any major container terminal company would set up operations within a few hundred feet of an LNG terminal, even if regulators were lax enough to allow them to do so. It's the Jordan Cove's risky LNG terminal that is a threat to future development of marine, industrial, fishing, and tourism jobs in Coos Bay, North Bend, and Charleston. The Oregon International Port of Coos Bay has the power to stop the LNG development, and I'm asking once again that the wishes of thousands of people who have signed our petition be granted, and that the Oregon International Port of Coos Bay do everything in their power to stop the Jordan Cove Energy Project LNG proposal. My second point is that the decision whether to sign a new option agreement with Weyerhaeuser needs a full public airing and a public advisory vote. The Port's initial decision in May 2006 did not allow for any meaningful public involvement because the Port Commission's vote was taken at a special meeting that was not publicly noticed or required by statute. Even though the Port was aware members of the public wanted to be heard on the matter before the decision was made, it was basically an insiders-only meeting at which opposing viewpoints were not heard solely because the public was not informed the meeting was taking place. This deficiency in the original decision process heightens the importance of a robust public debate now on whether to go ahead with the Weyerhaeuser deal again. I won't take time now to detail how public involvement was evaded in the May 2006 meeting. A one-page summary, which I've handed to you guys, is being handed to the commissioners now and is available from me from anybody who would like one. And I would like to say that a lot of people, I'm sure, in this room probably have not even read the agreement. They don't even know what we're talking about. It's a difficult agreement to read, and I don't even know if it's the same agreement. It would be nice to have that all out in the public so we can look at it, critique it, give our input as to what we feel maybe not quite right about it before there's a vote taken. So thank you.
My name is Richard Chasm. I live at 730 Hoover Hill Road in Winston, Oregon. I am a real estate agent. I've been a practicing realtor since 1992. In my capacity as a realtor, I have sold property to half a dozen individuals who now have a proposed pipeline from the Jordan Cove LNG facility to Klamath Falls in the Camas Valley, Olalla, Winston, Willis Creek, Rice Creek, Richardson Road, Myrtle Creek areas. They have come to me and said, what about this? So I have been involved in not so much the attack as much as the explanation. What is this? What are the implications? What does this mean? What are the values of it? Mrs. McCaffrey mentioned the need for appraisals. She's provided me with copies of the 2 appraisals that were commissioned by the International Port of Coos Bay to come up with a price for this property of $25 million. And I would like to quickly go over some points. It would be an exaggeration to say I've read these documents carefully, but I have gone through them and looked for the high points and the significant issues that will come out in any appraisal. And I can speak at length and in specific, but this is, opportunity for brief comments, so I'll get to the point. I would firmly submit to the board that you need new appraisals. Both of these documents state emphatically right in the beginning that these are values as of now. Market conditions can change rapidly, and there's a series of assumptions that they make that are in any appraisal. Assuming this is right, then you go down the list. The market has changed dramatically. There are a series of assumptions, in these documents that I would question. Number one, they both state that they assume that there are no unknown environmental contamination or issues that would tend to require remediation. And yet, they both also state that this is precisely the reason that Nucor backed out of a deal with Weyerhaeuser, because Weyerhaeuser wanted indemnification and to shift liability to the buyer, and Nucor said,
Could you finish up in about a
Yes,
minute or
I'm
so?
getting right to it.
Thank you.
Third, both of these appraisals assume that there's rail service, and there isn't. Appraisals assume that that adjacent development will occur, and that there's substantial value in the development of adjacent industrial properties, when I think that there are significant questions as to whether that will actually occur. Or
Yeah.
I'm doing my best.
Well, in fairness to everyone that's going to want to speak tonight, I can't let you just continue to go on and on.
Okay, I'll make my points.
Sure.
The fundamental fault in these appraisals is the comparable that they use to come up with $25 million is in fact these sales, and the deal to sell Jordan Cove, their property, for $11 million, and that makes these both invalid, and in court they'd be thrown out. Finally, the process by which the Williams Pipeline will acquire their right-of-way occurs the instant that FERC gives them their approval, and they will come and use current prices, current timber prices, to come and value the property along that pipeline. And so why should the landowners that are going to be affected to give up their land for this pipeline because of decisions made by the International Port of Coos Bay? Why should Weyerhaeuser and Jordan Cove be treated any different? I would like my property valued 2 years ago and not today.